Today on GardenFork, learn how to make creme brulee. Here we go.
You know, many cooks, when they go into the little fancy cooking store, they see these little torches, these little butane torches to make their puddings or to sear their chickens or whatever. And I just thought that I'd show you what a real torch looks like. Today we're going to make creme brulee, and we're going to use a torch to burn the sugar. And of course on GardenFork we have to do things in a big way, so this is a big torch. I was inspired to make creme brulee by watching my friend's video podcast, Crash Test Kitchen. Lenny and Waz made it, and Lenny had this little torch, and I thought, I got a much bigger torch than that. But in America, everything's bigger, so the Australians, they have their little torches, and us Americans, we have the big torch. To make the creme brulee, we're going to use a medium-sized torch. We're going to use a regular propane torch like this, but this we'll get to later. With creme brulee, it's incredibly simple. It's a perfect food for Eric. It's cream and eggs and a little vanilla and a little sugar, and you mix it up and you cook it a little bit and you throw it in the oven, and then boom, you're done. Give Mark a plug for his book, even though he doesn't know who we are yet. Burnt cream is a rich custard topped with a hard sugar crust. It's rare to succeed in making that crust on the first try, so practice once or twice before serving it to people you want to impress. We're going to Bill and Elsa's tonight for dinner, and
we don't even impress them.
I don't impress them. I just don't really care. But they're good friends. Most home cooks are forced to resort to the broiler for the final step, which is making the crust with the sugar. But every chef knows that the easy way to use it is to use a propane torch. If you have one in the garage or basement, try it. Make the custard in one bowl until you're good at it, so you don't have to repeat the caramelization process 4 to 6 times. Well, we're going to make them in the little bowls.
We're making it once.
Because we're making it once, and I've never made this before. So, and the beauty is you get to watch me whether I succeed or not.
What is that?
This. I was inspired by this by Lenny and Waz, also of Crash Test Kitchen, and of course I had to one-up them because this is a 14-volt Ryobi, and I think they had like a 9-volt. Once again, in America, everything's bigger. I don't have an 18-volt drill, but maybe someone out there could get me one. Maybe Ryobi would like to sponsor our show. Big hint, Ryobi. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven. What you also want to do is you want to start heating up some water on the stove, because these little ramekins are going to sit in a water bath, which is called a bain-marie, I think that's called, a water bath. Basically, it makes the custard cook more evenly. But the water has to be hot, otherwise you put it in the oven with cold water, it's not going to cook. So these are some of our eggs from Bill Hiller. Just toss it back and forth from shell to shell. Okay, so we're going to take this and whisk it. You can use a fork, you can use a whisk, or you can use a special tool. Because we don't have an electric mixer here, and I just happened to find one of these at a tag sale. Ooh, it's got a spider on it. We're going to heat up the cream so that the sugar dissolves easier, and I'm going to do a little hybrid thing. I'm going to heat up half the cream and then mix that with the sugar, and then I'm going to add in the other part of the cream, the cold cream, and it'll bring the temperature down, and it'll bake a lot better that way. Half a cup of sugar goes in with the egg yolks. Now we're going to whisk the yolks and the sugar together with our special tool. It mixes really well, don't you think? With creme brulee, it seems like it's a tradition to use a vanilla bean, but we don't have any vanilla beans because we're in the middle of nowhere here. So we're just going to use vanilla extract. Teaspoon of vanilla.
I don't see any spoon.
This goes in slowly. Don't pour this in all at once, or else you'll have scrambled eggs. Am I in the shop? Mm-hmm. All right, so 1 cup of cold cream.
That's a cup?
This is a 2-cup measuring thing, and I'm putting in where it says 1 cup. All right, so the cold cream goes in, and this is our creme. So now we have to fill the ramekins. We're going to use a tray.
Don't look too close.
Don't look too closely at our tray. I'm going to go about 2/3 full. So these go in. They said that put this in first and then pour in the water. So this should be between 170 and 175, 150.
Woo!
So the one recipe suggests between 170 and 175. So I think those are done. So we're going to pull those out.
Really?
Well, what do you want to do?
I thought you said they didn't look then.
Well, I don't know. You know, in the recipes they all say that the custard isn't set firmly, and then when you cool them down, the custard sets. So that's what we're going to do.
We're gonna follow directions?
Yeah, if all else fails, read directions. Oh, that does look set. Oh, that looks good. Those look great. Those look really good. So if you're wondering how to get the hot ramekins out of the hot water, actually I've seen some tongs with rubber tips. These tongs, and they might be better for ramekin grabbing. All right, life is good. We're going to cool these down now. Ideally, you have like all day to do this, and of course we don't. We have to be at our friend's house in 2 hours. So I'm going to let them cool for a minute, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer. But I don't think you're supposed to do that, but I'm going to. Then we get to use the torch.
Then we get these.
I don't think we're going to use the really large torch because I think we'll melt the ramekins. Are you hungry? Now we broke all the rules by putting these in the freezer, but then that's what we do here at GardenFork, is cutting edge cooking and gardening and
Burning.
how to. Most of the recipes suggest using turbinado sugar or raw sugar. A couple of them have brown sugar, but we're going to use just regular white sugar because that's what we have.
Perhaps a cup would work better than a spoon.
I don't know, it just said a teaspoon, so I just grabbed a teaspoon. And
Maybe we should do one at a time. I wonder if it's supposed to have lumpy sugar in it.
the lumps will smooth out, believe me. This is a regular old propane torch. You can buy these at the hardware store. If you want, you can get a propane torch that has an auto start feature on it. I just use, I call it a scratcher or a clicker. I don't like those little fancy ones you buy at the cooking stores because, first of all, they run on butane and they have a really small tank, and when they run out you gotta buy another little filler thing and stick it in there, and it's a pain. This is low tech and simple. Wow, it's getting liquidy.
I don't think they can see that. Can you see that?
Wow, look at that. That looks great.
So it's supposed to be thick all over the top?
I think it should be thicker because you want, it's almost like flan right side up. You know, flan is a caramel, you know, you're caramelizing the sugar, and you just move this across quickly so you don't burn it. I think this looks better than Lenny Waz's creme. Oh, I'm burning. Ooh, bad. Yeah, when you put a lot of sugar on it, it takes longer to melt it. I would put a little less sugar on. Ooh, look at that. Perfect. See, we're getting it to melt.
So
Burning my hands. Okay, so we're going to finish this and then go up to the camp and have dinner, and this will be our dessert. We'll have a tasting up at the camp. I think these back here are the best ones.
And look, they're very beautiful. They're like little.
Are they warm or
they're like little moonscapes. Yummy.
Yum, yum, yum.
Tastes good?